Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kenya.
Wake up with Good Morning Kenya, the morning show that's got it all.
We dive deep into issues shaping our country.
Youth are a voice of a nation.
What is the next step for the young people?
Unpacking political landscape from Monday to Wednesday.
We discuss family matters.
It is very important to guard your relationship.
And for your health.
Someone doesn't wake up and they become an addict. It's in stages.
We've got you covered each and every Tuesday at 9 a.m.
Every Wednesday, it's all about the viewpoint.
A day in politics is like 1,000 years.
Unpacking the biggest stories of the week, getting you insights and getting you ready for your day.
And the package is not yet done. I get to fix your Thursday with some entertainment. Entertainment Thursday, it is.
Good morning, Kenya.
We shape your day.
Good Morning Kenya, every weekday morning on KBC Channel 1.
Friday night again. Greetings in the name of the Most High, Jah Rastafari. My good name is Marley Moses, the positive warrior, alongside...
Yes, sir, DJ D-Rage, the baddest, each and every Wednesday from 10 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 TV.
To collect here the biggest reggae party in 254, in a yard extra niceness of reggae music.
Extra dose of entertainment.
When the thing is nice, we have
to do it twice.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come.
The holiday season is here again.
What?
It's family time.
Tunaguka nayo.
Oh yes, it's a season to be jolly. And so, grab a seat, relax as your favorite Christmas hosts line up to indulge you this year.
It's about to go down.
There's a lot of food and drinks to go around.
It's delicious.
Great music for the soul.
Merry Christmas.
It's unbeatable. It's joyous. It's Christmas on KBC Channel 1.
Kenyans heading up country should expect fare hikes as PSV operators capitalize on the festive rush. Meanwhile, developers urge the government to fully implement Ardhi Sasa to boost real estate growth. This including sports, but first, the highlights.
This is the best time to do so. 30th come first, we will do an operation that they will not like it, but at the end of the day, this particular area will be peaceful once and for all.
5 firearms have surrendered as 7-day illegal arms amnesty in troubled Transmara region begins.
Allowing a strike notice of 21 days to mature is deliberate. It is not something that has happened as an accident.
Health services in public hospitals are disrupted as clinical officers begin countrywide strike. Plus, the Ministry of Education processes 2,000 requests for revision of senior secondary school selections as 7-day revision window opens. Good evening and a very warm welcome to the broadcast. Our socials at KBC Channel 1 on X, Facebook and YouTube. I am Muchuma Odim. My colleague Tom Boyer is away this evening. Our sign language expert tonight is Byron Abule. We begin with our top story. 5 firearms and 14 rounds of ammunition have been voluntarily surrendered in Transmara County as the government intensifies efforts to restore peace following the recent clashes that left 4 people dead and displaced 1,800 others. Interior Cabinet Secretary Muchuma has also announced a 7-day grace period for civilians in possession of firearms in the area to surrender them before forceful dispossession is enforced. Tilio Marco begins our coverage tonight with this report.
Speaking after a high-level security meeting at Siteti in Transmara South Sub-County, Interior Cabinet Secretary Muchuma Murkomen emphasized the government's commitment to end the clashes. He said that following the arms surrender amnesty announced by the president on Monday, 5 guns and 14 rounds of ammunition have been surrendered.
5 is just but basic number. We want to see from the intelligence report, this particular only area, sub-county, we suspect about nearly 100 guns are in this area.
This is the best time to do so. 30th come first, we will do an operation that they will not like it, but at the end of the day, this particular area will be peaceful once and for all.
He mentioned Emurua Dikir, Kuria East and Kuria West areas as the hideout of the criminals. The CS added that the operation will be complemented by the recently gazetted 30-day night curfew and warn politicians and individuals against inciting local communities in the area.
They want to incite civilians to fight, either directly or using social media or using vernacular radio stations or other radio stations. I must say that we are going to go for all the inciters. They will be arrested. Some have already been arrested, and they will be charged in a court of law.
Murkomen further announced ongoing humanitarian support for affected families that entails building materials, food supplies, medication, and other assorted relief items. Tilio Marco for Prime Edition.
Let's now move to Health Watch. Clinical officers made good their strife threat, prompting public hospitals to engage other means of filling the gap. Magadi Hospital, one of the referral hospitals, resorted to engaging the services of lawcomers, but the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers warned that those engaged are interns whose services may not be up to standard. KUKO chairperson Peterson Washira says the buck stops with the Ministry of Health and Council of Governors, who they accused of refusing to honor a court order that had detailed a return to work formula.
The strike called by the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers took effect Monday midnight, with the union stating that all their 8,000 members in the public hospitals have downed their tools.
Allowing a strike notice of 21 days to mature is deliberate. It is not something that has happened as an accident. I started walking around this county since saa 11 to ensure compliance.
At the heart of the paralysis are 3 demands that clinical officers say were part of a return to work formula reached during their last industrial action between the union and the Ministry of Health and the Council of Governors, but has remained unhonored a year later.
As for the Council of Governors, they had the whole year. After we had our last meeting in February, they were to consult SRC on one issue of risk allowance They didn't. In fact, in October, SRC wrote to the Council of Governors requesting them to bring the request so that SRC can consider. They did not do that until the other day when we were already on strike.
The issues of UHC, global healthcare workers, and the demand was clear. Harmonize their salary, put them on PNP. They have harmonized salary for the UHC staff. They have not given them the permanent and pensionable.
Also in their demands is the employment of additional clinical officers to reduce the workload.
According to WHO, we are supposed to see only about 35 to 40 patients within 8 hours. We are seeing in excess of 100 patients. And that means that you cannot think straight. And that is why sometimes we miss the diagnosis, not because we are not well taught, because we are fatigued at work.
The impasse definitely putting health facilities and most importantly patients at crossroads. At Magathi Level 5 Hospital, the administration has resorted to engaging the services of qualified lawcomers.
It had been here before even the strike came, because all the time nakupatanga kuna like a shortage of staff, na kuna a flow of patients are many. So the facility goes ahead with the approval of the county government to engage people on locum basis.
The hospital says the services are still running smoothly and that patients are trickling in and out normally.
Nimekuja asubuhi saa 3. Nimepata tu matibabu sawa sawa, lakini tumeambiwa madaktari wako mkomo bado. Masaa yangu imekuwa sawa yenye nimekuja, nimepata matibabu kwa sasa hivi naenda nyumbani.
Kuna adire kiasi. Yeah. Because nilikuja 8:30 na saini ni 2. But si sana. Ni vile kukuwa na madaktari wengi. Sana sana tumekuwa na Dr. Moza.
But Kuko claims those engaged are interns who are not licensed and perhaps may not be liable for any eventualities.
It is illegal. They are not licensed to see any patient. And therefore I want to tell Kenyans that when you visit those facilities where already strike is ongoing, kama utapewa watu ambaye hawaja sahiki ama hawana uwezo wa kuweza kukuona, you are putting your life at stake.
Interns cannot work without supervision of those qualified personnel that I've mentioned there. So that is a lie, and it cannot be substantiated.
The clinical officer strike worsens a situation already made bad by the ongoing doctor strike. This does not augur well for patients whose hope now hangs on a remedy for this crisis before they themselves look forward to getting better. Kamchimenza for Prime Edition.
From health to education matters, Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Ogamba has assured parents and learners that a 7-day placement revision window will ensure all learners transitioning to grade 10 are placed in schools and career pathways of their choice. The revision window that was opened on Tuesday aims to address concerns raised by parents and learners who were dissatisfied with the initial placement results. Education Principal Secretary Julius Bitok said they have received 100,000 requests for revision. Here is that report as compiled by Gishuki Washira.
Speaking during the opening of Shanzu Senior School in Kisauni constituency, Education CS Julius Ogamba said the 7-day placement revision window has been opened and learners should make informed and appropriate choices. The Education CS reiterated the government's commitment in providing quality, equitable and inclusive basic education.
Wale watoto ambao wanaenda grade 10 ambao walichagua ama walipewa shule ambao labda hawazipendi, kuanzia leo for the next 7 days muko na opportunity ya kurudi kwa shule na ku-apply again katika ile shule ambao mtoto anataka kuenda.
Sentiments echoed in Naivasha by his Principal Secretary Professor Julius Bitok, who noted the numerous requests for revision received on the first day of the exercise that were being processed.
We use the code to open.
CS Ogamba noted that competence-based education pathways, STEM, social sciences and arts and sports science will define learners' career paths upon completion of senior school and other subsequent roles in nation building.
Education is the most valuable resource. It is only through quality education that we will be able to build the human capital that we require to achieve our national development.
The CS lauded the area MP Rashid Bedzimba for constructing a fully fledged senior school noting that access to quality education has been hampered by inadequate infrastructure and long distances to schools due to limited resources.
I thank the area Member of Parliament, Rashid Juma, and the board from CDF for their noble effort in making this school a reality. This school will go a long way in promoting access and retention in education and transform the lives of many families and children.
The MP urged the CS to direct head teachers to sensitize and guide parents and learners on CBC pathways, noting that many are confused.
Ningeomba utoe amri walimu wakuu wa shule wawasaidie wazazi. Hivi sasa wazazi wanatatizika, hasa hii grade 10 wanatatizika. Ningeomba utoe amri wale walimu wakuu, wale wazazi wa wanafunzi wao ambao wanaona kuna shida wawaite ili wawalekeze mahali watafanya.
Gishoki Washira, Prime Edition.
Kenyans traveling upcountry should brace for hiked fares as PSV operators take advantage of the influx of passengers traveling to various parts of the country to celebrate the festivities. A spot check by Channel 1 revealed bus fares are hiked and some instances doubled the usual cost of travel to selected destinations. Public service vehicle operators, however, say the difference is meant to fill the deficit of many operators traveling back to Nairobi, as told now by Giverson Maina.
At the Nairobi Central Business District, thousands of travelers are in a rush to board public service vehicles to various destinations for Christmas festivities. Most travelers are, however, frustrated by the high fares, and in select areas, passengers are having to part with double the amount they would ordinarily pay to travel.
Bei hupanda hizi siku za Christmas. Bei inapanda kabisa. Kama saa hizi kwenda Western, saa hizi kama mimi nimebook ya Chavakali ni 2500. Unaona? Na bado inaweza tapanda kufikia 3000 by kesho ama Thursday Christmas asubuhi. Bado inaweza panda bado. So inatumiza.
Naenda kabisa bit na nilipanga 13 but sasa 25. Nimefinywa, hiyo ni mingi.
An ordinary day of travel to Eldoret, for instance, would cost a passenger 1,200 shillings, but in this season, that cost is now at between 2,200 and 2,500 Kenyan shillings, depending on the circle. Nairobi to Kisii is priced at about 1,800 shillings, up from normal 1,500 shillings. Nairobi to Kisumu 3,000 shillings, up from 1,500 shillings, while Nairobi to Bungoma has been hiked at about 3,000 Kenyan shillings, up from 1,500 shillings. The operators are, however, quick to justify the fare hikes.
Normally tunateremkanga na 1,500 na kutoka chini tunakuja na 1,500. Lakini saa hii kutoka chini hakuna abiria. Sasa ndio maana kampuni kama ya Transrail tuliongeza 300 peke yake ndio ikafika 1,800. Lakini sasa saa sisi tunafanya hesabu, hiyo gari inataka mafuta, dereva alipwe na maintenance kidogo, unapata hiyo gari hata inapakisha 6,000.
Watu wenye wanatoka Nairobi wanaenda nyumbani ni wengi kushinda wale wanatoka Western. So one of the key reasons zenye nafanya fare kwa juu, hii gari kisonga chini kurudi hapa Nairobi inarudi almost empty. So na lazima hiyo deficit ndio ipunguzwe, lazima hizi gari zirudi ndio zibebe watu. Unaona hata super metro na nini zinabeba on behalf of hizi gari zingine kwa sababu ya hiyo deficit.
Imeongezeka kwa sababu kutoka Eldoret kuja Nairobi anaekewa watu kama 7 ama 6. Bora apate mafuta kuja Nairobi kubeba watu, Nairobi watu wamejaa.
According to the travelers, the hikes add to the burden of the already high cost of living.
Nyumbani pia wanataka kukula, school fees ziko hapa. Sasa inabidi ukae 1 year ndio ukienda nyumbani at least yani umewasaidia juu ukishika mwendo kila siku 1,300 unaona hakuna kitu yenye utakuwa umesaidia. Utasaidia watoto.
The PSV operators say although business is booming at the moment, the number of travelers are not as many compared to the previous years, pointing to hard economic times.
Wengine wanakuja kwa stage anapata gari ni 1,800, anasema hapana, siwezi enda, afadhali hiyo 1,800 nitumie watu nyumbani wafanye shopping kidogo wakule na mimi ile nimebaki kidogo nayo nikule Christmas ishe.
This passenger told us he'd cancel his plans as he couldn't afford to travel up country given the hikes.
Lakini kwa sababu ya fare, juu ya venye imeshoot, inabidi sitaenda saa hii, nitaenda January ama maybe next year, juu saa hii inakuwa ngumu.
PSVs that normally operate within Nairobi area are also plying other routes including Busia, Eldoret, Kisumu and Bungoma to cater for the influx of travelers.
Hapa town hakuna kazi saa hii. Watu wote wanaelekea nyumbani. Ukiwa gari yako iko sawa, iko qualified kila kitu, mko dereva wawili na umeangalia miguu zako siko sawa, gari yako engine iko mzuri, umefanya kila kitu service vizuri, na wewe ni mwangalifu, unajua kujali maisha yao watu, unawapeleka.
As a section of Kenyans try to beat the Christmas rush and at least be with their families, especially on Christmas Day and the New Year period, vehicle shortage, hiked fares and traffic jams remain a challenge, at least for now. Giverson Minor, Prime Edition, Nairobi.
From Xmas rush to other matters related to politics, 38% of Kenyans are cautiously optimistic but deeply divided about the opposition's ability to unite behind a single presidential candidate in the 2027 polls. According to a recent poll by Trends and Insights for Africa (TIFA) research conducted between 10th to 17th of November, majority of Kenyans cited their concern with the united opposition for not declaring their preferred candidates early ahead of the polls. The poll conducted across the 47 devolved units revealed that ODM party is grappling with division, especially after the demise of their long-serving leader, Raila Odinga. Our reporter Abdiaziz Hashim has the details.
The survey conducted between the 10th and the 17th of November saw 2,053 Kenyans across all 47 counties interviewed at their residences over the country's political standing ahead of the 2027 polls. The polls paint a grim picture of the Orange Democratic Movement ODM party following the death of their long-serving leader Raila Odinga. Findings released on Tuesday by TIFA Research indicate that the party's internal cohesion has weakened, citing the sharp disagreements between its leadership and grassroots supporters over the party's direction ahead of the 2027 general election. According to the survey, ODM's national popularity has risen to 20%, overtaking the United Democratic Alliance UDA, which stands at 16%. However, ODM leaders' engagement with the Kenya Kwanza administration has not been fully embraced, with half of the respondents expecting ODM to return to the opposition come the 2027 polls, with 30% believe it will remain part of the broad-based government, but 20% were not sure.
Sahi kama wanataka kura chetu cha ODM ya 2027 lazima waweke vitu kwa meza. Watuambie wanapatia sisi ngapi. Lazima watu wasungumuze.
I want our party members to know that you have very shrewd and tactical people on the table who will not move forward without getting for ODM what it deserves for support moving forward in 2027.
But going forward, we'll be in a good discussion. And what I want to encourage ODM, as we work with the president, let us not give conditions.
This as 38% of Kenyans are cautiously optimistic but deeply divided about the opposition's ability to unite behind a single presidential candidate in the next general election. According to the 46-page finding, the electorates are concerned over the delayed announcement of the opposition's preferred candidate and strategy towards the polls. Nevertheless, the broad-based government's popularity had increased even before its constituent party success in the November 27th by-election. Abdiaziz Hashim for Prime Edition.
19 minutes past the top of the hour, we are taking our first commercial break. Coming up, the latest from the corridors of justice, plus the latest in the world of business and sports. Stay with us.
Kwa mitandao tutatembea Katika Qur'an tukufu Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala anatuamuru tukumbushane, kwani kukumbushana kunawafaa waumini. Kwa mujibu wa hadithi, Mtume Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam anatushauri tueneze ujumbe wake angalau kwa aya moja. Basi tunatia ari kufanya ambacho ni jukumu la kila Muislamu, kukumbushana mema na kukatazana maovu. Tunakuletea mawaidha za mashehe, wataalam, maustadh, madrasa, makala spesheli na Oktifatuma Yakub, mafunzo na historia za mitume na maswahaba, na burudani kupitia nashid na wasifu za munshid. Tazama ukumbi wa Kiislamu nami Alishe kila Ijumaa saa 9:30 katika KBC Channel 1.
Welcome back to Prime Edition, our socials at KBC Channel 1 on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Let's now get to the corridors of justice. A terrorism court in Kahawa Law Courts in Kiambu County is set to rule on whether detectives from the Anti-Terrorism Police Unit should be allowed to detain a Turkish refugee for 15 days to complete investigations or release him on bail. The decision follows the arrest of Ahmed Mustafa Gundgor, who was picked up at the Standard Gauge Railway Terminal in Nairobi while traveling from Mombasa. Ahmed Mustafa was arrested over suspicious involvement in terror-linked offenses.
Detectives from the Anti-Terrorism Police Unit are seeking more time to hold a Turkish national, Ahmed Mustafa Gundgor, as they pursue investigations into alleged terrorism-related activities within and outside Kenya. Gundgor was arrested on December 21st at the Nairobi SGR terminus while traveling from Mombasa after officers say he was flagged on reasonable suspicion of involvement in terror-linked offenses. According to an affidavit filed in court, investigators are probing several offenses under the Prevention of Terrorism Act of 2012, which include the collection and provision of property or services for the commission of terrorist acts, membership in a terrorist group, and the collection of information for terrorist purposes, among other transnational organized crimes.
All we are asking that, Your Honor, you grant us 15 days so that, Your Honor, you balance the rights that you have been told we are about to violate, the rights of the respondent to liberty vis-a-vis the public right or the state's obligation to protect its citizen, only for 15 days, Your Honor. And we've been told that the respondent has been here for, I don't know how many years, Your Honor, 15 years.
The court was told that on November 28th, the government of Turkey formally wrote to Kenyan authorities seeking judicial legal assistance in a case involving the suspect, who is said to have been at large before taking refuge in Kenya. The request seeks assistance in recording the suspect's statement over terrorism charges he is facing at the Kahramanmaraş Second High Court in Turkey.
The instructions from the Turkish government have been conducted fully. The instructions, Your Honor, were simple. Invite the accused. Not arrest, invite the accused. Record the accused identity information. The crime, explain to the accused the crime which he has been accused of and explain it to him. You know, those were the only instructions that came from the Turkish government.
Appearing for the prosecution, State Counsel Kiari told the court that the suspect poses a flight risk and could interfere with ongoing investigations if released on bail.
The seriousness of the offense that now the Kenyan government is looking into this matter, the offenses that we have highlighted in paragraph 3 of the affidavit report, as well as the offences with which Your Honor is suspected to have committed in the Republic of Turkey. Your Honor, again, this can be a motivating factor for the respondent to flee
The compelling reason is that there is also likelihood of interference with the ongoing investigations.
However, the defense team led by Mwaura Kabata appearing virtually alongside advocates Robert Odanga and Nabil Khan opposed the application by the Director of Public Prosecutions.
I am saying that Mr. Gungor has been in the country for 15 years. He has not committed any offense known to Kenyan law. He is law-abiding. He has a fixed abode. He earns a living in Kenya. He pays taxes.
Fast forward from 15, on 20th, Mr. Gungor is on SGR with his family. The prosecution here has stated that he doesn't have a family. He was there with his family, 2 daughters, wife, and in-laws. They were all picked up 20th at night. Contrary to the application today saying he was arrested on 21st, he was arrested on 20th.
The court is expected to deliver its ruling on December 30th, determining whether investigators will be granted more time to hold the suspect or whether he will be released or formally charged with terrorism-related offences.
The court has to take time to consider the submissions, the authorities, the annexures, in order to render itself in a ruling. The earliest I am able to do so, if I can if I'm being practical, is on the 30th of December. That is Tuesday of next week.
In the spirit of giving and extending the Christmas cheer to the less fortunate, Administration Police drawn from Kiambu Administration Police Service visited Macheo Children's Center in Thika, where the officers donated foodstuffs and essential household items. The gesture reaffirming the police role as friends and protectors of the community. The donation, which included mattresses, cooking oil, maize flour, snacks, and other food supplies, will go a long way to support the children's home during the festive season. Kasichana Masha compiled this report.
At Macheo Children's Center, tens of vulnerable children shared Assumption's meal with a section of officers drawn from the Kiambu Administration Police Service, spared time to spread the love and joys of Christmas. The initiative was fully funded through personal contributions made by officers across the county as part of a Christmas outreach aimed at supporting the needy and vulnerable.
Tumeonelea tukuja kumalizia mwaka hata sisi to contribute towards this institution ya hii Macheo Children's Home. Tunawaletea vitu tofauti, tunawaletea mattress, tumewaletea uga ya ngano na ya mahidi, tunawaletea guo na mafuta.
The Children's Center manager in charge of children protection and mental health support, Joanne Mburu, welcomed the support, saying the donation will go a long way in ensuring the children celebrate Christmas with dignity.
Tunaweza kushirikiana na wenzetu na hasa kuona AP Police wakiwa wamefika kuona watoto wetu ni upendo mkubwa sana. We feel overwhelmed. Watoto wamefurahia, watoto wameweza kuona role models, watoto wameenjoy kukula chakula kizuri, kukula vitu tamu ambazo watoto wanafurahia.
In the same spirit and giving and brotherhood, I&M Foundation has embarked on a series of community outreach initiatives dubbed A Time to Give, which will be rolled out throughout the festive season. Speaking after treating tens of children at Makadara Children's Home to an early Christmas, the foundation leaders pledge to continue supporting the underprivileged and uplifting communities where they operate.
We got to enjoy with them, have activities, have a lunch, do a cake cutting, and also through I&M Foundation, we have donated to them a 10,000 liter water tank. I can say the children are very happy, very grateful and thankful.
And we rescue children mostly from the streets, bring them over for rehabilitation. And after rehabilitation, we also enroll them in school.
Through the initiative, the foundation is investing approximately 10 million shillings to support communities surrounding 22 newly opened I&M Bank branches across the country. Kasichana Masha, Prime Edition.
Let's now take you to the counties. Fishermen from Saya County have expressed fears that the fishing sector could collapse following the government's plan to introduce the electronic tax invoice management system, ETIMS, in the industry starting next year. Also, residents of Laikipia County have been reassured of their safety as the Christmas and New Year celebrations approach. County Commissioner Duncan Muyesu announced that security measures have been significantly strengthened across the region to prevent any criminal incidents. These stories and more in our news roundup.
Speaking in Bondo, fishermen led by West Yimbo Beach Management Unit chairperson Daniel Odero said the move could push fish trade to neighboring countries or the black market, while revving out the country's last remaining fish processing farm, the Seafood Company. The Kenya Revenue Authority has mandated ETIMS for all businesses to enhance tax compliance, but fishermen say they were not sensitized and lacked the documentation required to use the system. Fishermen are now calling on the government to hold consultations, harmonize taxes, and reconsider the rollout of ETIMS to protect livelihoods in the sector.
We request the national government to come out with another easy idea or a friendly idea for fishermen taxation. For example, they can even adopt the system of county government of 1 shillings per kilo. That one will help us to collect the revenue from our fishermen, but not ETIMS. ETIMS will not happen. We are going to lose our fishermen to our neighboring countries. Another challenge that we as a fisherfolk undergo, insecurity. Most of our fishermen are being cut in the lake. Our fishing equipments are being taken away by the piracy. And even we are being arrested by Ugandan's personnel and charge us at a higher cost of 30 to 50,000. So we humbly request the government to come in our aid.
In Laikipia, the County Commissioner Duncan Muyesu says security measures have been significantly strengthened across the region to prevent any criminal incidents while people enjoy the festivities. Muyesu noted that the law enforcement agencies are on high alert with increased patrols and deployments in key areas to maintain peace and order.
Yetu kama security committee na hakikishia wananchi kwamba tumejipanga vilivyo ili kuhakikisha kwamba kuna usalama wakati watu wakisherehekea. Na wacha nisisitize kwamba haimaanishi kwamba kila wakati hawa hatujipangi. Kwamba kusisitiza kwamba katika harakati ya watu kusherehekea labda kuna wale wengine ambao wanataka kuvuma mahali ambapo hawajapanda, lakini sisi tunasema kwamba chuma yao iko motoni, ili kwamba sheria lazima izingatiwe, mtu asiingize katika anasa ambayo pia itamletea balaa. Tukisherehekea tujue kwamba pia tujue kuna majukumu ambayo bado yanatungoja.
Meanwhile, over 300 women in Aldai constituency are generating income through tailoring and tent hiring under the Aldai Muslim Women Group. Founder Saumu Hassan says the 7-year-old initiative has boosted self-reliance among women and is appealing for support to acquire more sewing machines.
Chetu tulikuwa kina mama 28 na kwa uwezo wa Mwenyezi Mungu saizi tumefika kina mama 363 na tunamshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu sababu tokea tushikane kina mama wameweza kupata hata angalau chumvi, wameweza kujitafutia mambo kidogo kidogo, wamepata tents. Tunamshukuru Mungu kwa hiyo tent ambayo inawaletea pesa, wamepata bags, wameshona na pia wanashona uniforms. Ingawa mashini yao wana mashini cherehani 2, wangeomba kwa ambaye angeweza kuwasaidia awazidishie waongeze machines mingi, na kwa hiyo tents wana tents 2 na wangeomba pia wapate zaidi sababu wamezidi kupanuka na wamezidi kuwa wengi na orders zimezidi kuwa nyingi.
Thank you for staying with us. Let's now get into business. Kenya Railways says it plans to increase the number of premium coaches on Madaraka Express passenger train service following a sharp rise in demand. Kenya Railways Managing Director Philip Mainga says all 4 existing premium coaches are fully booked through mid next month, with the expansion of the service among several new measures being explored to improve travel experience on the Madaraka Express passenger train service. Trevor Ngendo reports.
Kenya Railways first introduced premium coaches on the Madaraka Express passenger train service to provide a more comfortable and exclusive travel option for those willing to pay for executive amenities. Each coach, with a capacity of 28 passengers, is designed to offer quieter, more spacious environment, among other enhanced onboard services, at a cost of 12,000 shillings one way or 20,000 shillings for a return ticket between Mombasa and Nairobi. Initially, the uptake was steady, catering mostly to business travelers. However, during this festive season, the premium coaches have increasingly become a popular choice.
You cannot book, as I talk to you, up to probably January. You cannot get the premium class. It is fully booked. In fact, what we have received from our customers is it possible to add more premium class for our passengers?
Kenya Railways plans to put in service more premium coaches to meet rising demand.
This kind of growth requires support. This kind of growth requires a lot of the efficiency that we are providing. So we are looking forward on having the final leakages like the one we have in Mombasa now. That is working very well. As you know, we also connected the passengers from here to Nairobi Central Station. Those leakages are making a difference.
The announcement comes amid a surge in rail travel during this festive season, prompting the company to increase the number of trains and frequency of services on key routes. On the Nairobi-Mombasa route, daily passenger train services have been increased from the previous 3 to 4 in each direction.
The train to Kisumu, fully booked. We cannot accommodate those customers because of their numbers. To Nanyuki again, we cannot accommodate them. In fact, I think we will be running extra trains for Nanyuki and extra trains for Nakuru and for Kisumu.
Those traveling between Nairobi and Kisumu or Nairobi and Nanyuki will have 2 train services on a daily basis. Trevor Ngendo for Prime Edition, Nairobi.
Onto a story we teased for you at the beginning of this broadcast. Developers are calling on the government to fully implement the Ardhi Sasa to support growth of the real estate sector. Real Estate Stakeholders Association patron Kinyua Wa Iratu says delays in land transactions and economic hardships are slowing the growth of the real estate sector.
Kenya's property market has recorded steady progress, highlighted by a 9% increase in mortgage uptake and rental yields in urban areas this year. Despite the increase in earnings, Real Estate Stakeholders Association says some real estate companies have closed shop due to slow land transactions.
I've closed over 50 companies this year. Over 50 companies in the real estate. So you can imagine how many families have been affected because of lack of good economy.
Kinyua says delayed full implementation of the Ardhi Sasa portal has seen some potential investors lose money to fraudulent land transactions.
Last year we were able to even be able to transfer a title deed with only maybe 10,000. But now we are paying over 40,000 in some counties.
Real estate investors are optimistic that the proposed Rironi Mau Summit Road will unlock investments.
When the transport is easy, people will not fear to invest because we look even the other places that where we invest. The land is cheaper because the commuting is so difficult.
The association is calling for supportive policies, improved infrastructure, and reforms in land administration to support growth of the real estate sector.
Across the borders in the world of business, the United Kingdom has reversed controversial inheritance tax proposals affecting farmers and agricultural businesses after months of protests. The revised plan raises the tax-free threshold from 1 million euros to 2.5 million euros, meaning most family farms will pay no inheritance tax, a move intended to protect rural businesses and support food production. Here are the details of this and more in our international business roundup.
The decision by the United Kingdom government comes after earlier plans to restrict full inheritance tax relief sparked concerns that many farms could face tax bills that would force asset sales or undermine generational continuity. UK government officials say the higher threshold will ensure that roughly 85% of estates claiming agricultural relief will avoid inheritance tax, support food production and rural livelihoods, while still maintaining a framework for taxing very large estates. Elsewhere, policymakers in the European Union are moving to shield the plastics recycling industry from cheap imports that have forced the closure of around 1 million tons of recycling capacity, including multiple plants in the Netherlands. New measures will include stricter import checks to ensure recycled materials meet EU standards and a unified customs market for recyclable waste to support fair competition. 10 plants have been closed in the Netherlands over the past 18 months. Across the European Union, about 1 million tons of recycling capacity had shut in the same period, the equivalent of France's annual output. And finally, global oil markets are reacting to ongoing supply pressures from Venezuela, with Brent crude prices climbing over 2.5% as blockades and export disruptions fuel concerns over tightening supplies. Brent crude slipped to around $61.96 per barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate traded near $57.88 as prices of benchmarks were driven by fears of potential supply disruptions. A key factor influencing market sentiments was the United States' stance on Venezuelan crude. Furthermore, Russia and Ukraine intensified attacks on each other's Black Sea facilities, a crucial corridor for global energy and grain exports. Ndutamo Kami for Prime Edition.
Je, wewe ni mpenda soka? Na je, wajua kuwa KBC mwenzie wako wa dhati michezoni anakujali? Ndio maana KBC Channel 1 hukuletea taarifa na uchambuzi wa soka.
CAF ndio wamechukua usukani
humu nchini, barani Afrika na ugaibuni, ikiwemo EPL, Serie A, Bundesliga na ligi zingine. Mashabiki pia hutuzwa kwa kujibu maswali kuhusiana na soka.
Swali letu la leo.
Haya yote ni kwenye kipindi cha Dunda Dunda kwenye KBC Channel 1 kila Ijumaa kuanzia saa 5 asubuhi hadi saa 6:30 mchana.
Nawahimiza Wakenya waendelee watch Dunda Dunda show.
KBC, mwenzio wa dhati michezoni.
I can't stand my sister anymore. I hate her. I don't want her in my life. I hate her.
Just found out that you are making plans to go and live with that man.
Lea Premium Flour, nurturing the world. Available in a store near you.
Thank you for keeping it Prime Edition. Let's now get to the fields. AFC Leopards moved joint top of the Football Kenya Federation Premier League standings after defeating Bidco United 1-0 in a lone Premier League match played today. Defender Samuel Semo scored the all-important goal for Leopards at the half-hour mark. Bidco United's efforts to find an equalizer amounted to none as AFC held on to clinch the vital maximum points. The win moved AFC, who are chasing their first league title since 1998, to second position with 24 points, same as leaders Gor Mahia, who occupy the top slot due to superior goal difference. Despite starting their league campaign strongly, Bidco have faded and remain winless in the past 5 league fixtures. They are placed 15th on the 18-team standings with 14 points, 1 point off the safety zone. The league takes a holiday break with the matches set to resume on the 9th of January next year. The Kenya national sevens team Shujaa and Lionesses have taken a short break from their training camp for the Christmas festivities following weeks of intensified preparations ahead of the 2026 HSBC Division 2 series. Both teams have been training at the RFUEA grounds along Ngong Road in Nairobi following their double qualification in the HSBC2 in their quest to return to the Global Sevens stage next year. Shujaa sealed their place after overcoming Canada 24-5 in the final decider, while the Lionesses beat their arch-rivals, South Africa 17-14. Their qualification marks a significant milestone for Kenya's sevens rugby programs, underlining steady progress in the journey back to the top tier of the international competition. Kenya is set to host the opening leg of the three-leg HSBC Division 2 series on the 14th and 15th of February next year at the Nyayo National Stadium, which will be another historic moment for the country and the region as well. Shujaa and Lionesses, who resume camp on the 5th of January next year, seek to capitalize on the home advantage when the global event kicks off. Harambee Stars midfielder Timothy Nur Ouma, who plays for Polish club Lech Poznan, hosted a charitable event at Dagoretti Muslim Primary School in Kawangware, Nairobi, in a heartwarming gesture of giving back to society. Partnering with the Missiono Foundation, Ouma's newly established Timothy Nur Foundation organized the event to support aspiring young players ahead of the Christmas season. The event focused on community uplifting, providing meals to families, and distributing footballs and jerseys to local youth teams. Ouma has risen to prominence in Kenyan football, making his mark with Harambee Stars and contributing to Lech Poznan's campaigns, including recent appearances in the UEFA Conference League. The Timothy Nur Foundation was established to support youth development, education, and sports.
Community ndio imenilea na imefanya nikakuwa hapa. Use all these pitches around Kawangware na Dagoretti. So for me, na give back through kuonesha kuna hope. Kuna hope hata kama ni si kila mtu anaweza afford the small things, hizo mafuta, unga and all that. So for me ni kwa show tu kuna hope.
Ina inspire kwanza vijana ambao wanachipukia, wanaangalia kama mwenzao anaweza, hawa kieka bidii pia watafika hapo. Wengi mtaani waweze kujiendeleza kimaisha. Babu ametoka hii mtaa through football. So tunatend ku encourage ni watu wadogo wenye wanafeel wako na talent, wanataka kucheza ball, wanataka kupasua career ya football, ndio tunataka consider most, because ukiangalia timu mingi za hii mtaa yetu tumekuwa tukiwashughulikia in terms of jerseys, beeps, cones.
Nimefurahia tangu sijaiona hivi, ndio nimeona siku ya leo. Hata nimetamani sana kijana wangu pia kuwa haraka aanze hiyo mtindo, sababu ni mtu mwenye anapenda mchezo sana, anapenda ball.
Away from home, Bayern Munich striker Nicolas Jackson scored a brace to kickstart Senegal's Africa Cup of Nations campaign on a positive note. Jackson scored a goal in each half, and Cherif Ndiaye added a third as Senegal dispatched Botswana 3-0 to move to the top of Group D on equal 3 points with Democratic Republic of Congo, who had earlier defeated Benin 1-0 in the first match in Morocco.
Yeah, they had to wait for their players to eventually arrive. Now, Jacobs pulls it back. They've got the goal. Stolen away in the middle. Neatly done by Gay. And now an opportunity for Jackson again. Too easy. Now, final probe here, and surely number 3. Good support from the Congolese fans, just a smattering of those following Benin. So we are underway. The Democratic Republic of Congo kicking us off. Saka, the West Ham man. Sami. They've left that. Bongonda is in. Oh, that was calamity in the back for Benin. And how Bongonda made them pay. 60 minutes on the clock and the Congolese lead. And Benin, they simply left it. And they created an ocean of space for Bongonda to fire the Leopards in front. And he was not going to miss from there, the 30-year-old. They are slowly doing that. Vedon and Roche moving forward. Can they amend for their error? Good ball in. They get a head on it. And it's just past the post. Finding a side in his homeland just to find a little bit of fitness and now signing for them. Bakambu tries the back flip, doesn't come off. Still he has it into Bongonda again. And Bongonda's so close to making it too. And his side do get the throw, but and then he says to everybody to calm down. Well, I would have thought he had been better advised just to...
Staying with AFCON, Nigeria is currently playing Tanzania, and Nigeria have scored 2 against one of Tanzania. And Uganda will be playing Tunisia tonight at 11 p.m. Let's now touch on EPL. Liverpool manager Ancelotti says Alexander Isak will be out for a few months after sustaining an injury in a reckless challenge by Tottenham defender Mickey van de Ven. The Reds will host Wolves on Saturday in the Premier League, where they will also be without Mo Salah, who is away on national duty in the Africa Cup of Nations. Meanwhile, Raul Jimenez scored a decisive penalty as Fulham got their Premier League season back on track with a hard-fought 1-0 win at home to Nottingham Forest. And on that note, you have come to the end of Prime Edition. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your feedback on our social media platforms. I am Muchuma Odim. Our sign language expert tonight is Byron Abuli. Happy holidays.
For charity, dial star 419 hash.
Nakuona. Kuja hivi sasa.
Ona. Mama tu. Toka sumoje. Oya. What is wrong? What is wrong? Buddha. Siku umedial star 419 hash. Chika. Yani haujuko option 3 kuna Pro Box. Pro Box.
Usisahau kwa *419# option 3 iko probox ya bahati, na ikikuangukia ufunguo utakufikia mahali popote ulipo. Usisahau.
When life's burdens try to speak louder than destiny, God still moves and releases light. My name is Grasha Maingi, your host, and I'm here to invite you to Angaza, the gospel show, where God's light meets your story.
When you are thinking of getting married, you should always look for those characteristics that are spiritual.
Every Saturday, 5 to 6 p.m., we bring you testimonies that heal.
It's only because God has taken me through the depths of the word that I'm still standing.
Conversations that ignite faith and hope that refuses to die.
Music with vibe to uplift your spirit. Join me, DJ Andy C, the Gospel Street King, to Jinice ndani ya Christ.
Tune in to KBC Channel 1, where light meets life.
Christmas ndio hii na inakuja na sanduku 12 na watatu wenye wako na bahati ya kufika hapa. Madam, majina ni nani?
Vicky.
Kutoka wapi?
Kapsoit.
Big man?
Yeah.
Majina nani?
Kamaupi.
Kutoka wapi?
Kaberia.
Aha. Majina nani?
Maso Wavinya.
Kutoka wapi?
Ketwe.
Wavinya, Peter na Vicky. Hapa ndani nimewekea meko na inakuja na pan ya chapati. Hapa ndani nimewekea mchele kilo 22 na jogo ngapi? 2. Hapa ndani nimewekea 10,000 Kenyan shillings. Hapa ndani sijasahau school fees ya 30,000 Kenyan shillings. Hapa ndani iko 100,000 kwa sanduku moja, alafu 100,000 kwa sanduku ingine. Sanduku mbili ziko na 100,000. Na wapatia fursa mtoe one of these boxes. Nyinyi wenyewe ngoweni sanduku mnataka. Sikiza nini?
Nine zilikuwa imecheza last.
Mnataka sanduku gani toke?
Number 9.
Sema kweli. Wanasema wanataka namba 9 itoke. Fungulia watu pazia. Namba 9 itoke. Mimi ni nani nikatae? Wametoa wenyewe. Mnajua mmetoa nini? Na natamani kufika hapo wa kwanza kuja nichagulie moja kati ya sanduku zangu 11. Na anakuja wa kwanza. Mase Wavinya, kuja hapa, kuja hapa. Kutoka wapi?
Kitui.
Kitui. Masi?
Yes.
Christmas umesema unatamani kuwe aje?
Kuwe fiti.
Ikuwe fiti kabisa, si ndio? Na kwa nini umetoa namba 9 kama ulikuwa unataka Christmas ikuwe mzuri? Hiyo kitu nafikiri hakuna. Ndio iko hapa ndani. Oi. Mmetoa mandazi yangu nyinyi. Mumeitoa. Natoa pesa na uchungu nikikwambia hii ni ngapi, 1000 ngapi? 10. Wewe 30,000 nimeweka kwa mkono yako. Hii ni 1,100. Naweka. Hii ni 1,100 nyingine naweka. Umetoa ndoo yangu ya mandazi wewe. Kuna haja nikuchagulie sanduku ingine ama nikuache hapo?
Mimi naona tu ni kama kaya hapo.
Unaona tu kaya hapo. 1 2 3 4 5. 5,000 Kenya shillings. Utaichukua ama utakuwa ma?
Wacha nikae hapa.
5,000. Nikusaidie?
Wacha nikae hapa.
Utaki hii msaada yangu? 6,000. Hautaki bado usaidizi? Na 7,000. Na 8,000. Tuko kwa sanduku. Na 9,000. Unajua saa ingine mtu kama hana bahati hata ufanye nini hawezi bahatika. Nataka nikutoe kwa hili box. Sawa? Nikupatie kitu niko sure nayo, sawa? Wacha nikupatie tu zawadi uende nayo, sawa? Kuna zawadi iko hapa ndani. Na kitu naniambia ni zawadi mzuri kushinda hii zawadi ziko hapa, hata hii pesa. Utaendelea ama utaichukua uende uachane na hizi vitu?
Afadhali niendelee.
Afadhali?
Niendelee.
Unawacha hii? Unaenda na hii? Uko sure?
Nitachange.
Gani?
Nitachange.
Gani? Uende kwa? Kwa mara ya tatu. Ni sanduku namba 3, ni my 9,000, unafikiria my 12, unageuza ama ni this mystery box.
Patie mbo. Patie hiyo.